Hello, it's a new updated video of how to play. For the sake of this video, I am going to manipulate the dice some, so kind of have it scripted a little bit to show you all the different aspects of the game and how to go about doing specific things. So this is a game I created called Space Bounty, 10 targets, 1 hunter. There's the zine version, which is 1 piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, printed on front and back. I use cardstock. Creates a little booklet with all the directions, your space HUD, and it includes your missions, your top 10, and your map. You can just pop it in your pocket and take it with you with a handful of dice and enjoy a little session here and there and work towards your goal. I also have a PDF version where each page is a full page. You can print it in large 8.5 by 11 page, or I did booklet form here. And I'm going to show you how to play in booklet form. I'm not going to read through all the directions and examples because you guys can read, so I'm not going to insult your intelligence. I already preset the game up some. Beginning of the game, you do start with an adder ship with all its specs, 5,000 credits on planet 1, and you get to assign a 0, a 1, a 2 to weapons, engines, and crew. Max is 3, and I'll talk about that. All right, this is a new version, 1.6. I will also be introducing the lottery. All right, so got my specs, got my ship, I got the adder, I did 1 weapon, 2 engines, 0 for crew. The ship automatically comes with 2 shields and 5 hull. As you upgrade your ships, you can shade these in on the side to show what your current shield and hull is. Same with fuel on the left-hand side. Your ship comes with a light laser, which is a D4 for your weapon. You do have an extra slot, but you have to purchase that weapon. With my $5,000, I find it, especially with the small ship and the small fuel, I've run out of fuel a couple times. So a bay can hold fuel times 2. So I'm going to use one of my 3 bays to hold 2 more fuel. So there's 2,000. And the other 2,000 I did buy armor plating. There are 3 levels of armor plating, level 1, 2, and 3. I'm currently at level 1. I purchased the level 1. What that means is when I'm attacked, if my shields are down, I can roll a D4 for level 1, a D6 for level 2, and a D8 for level 3, and that would absorb the incoming damage from my enemy. Anytime I roll a 1, I degrade 1 level. So if I'm at level 1 and I roll a 1, my armor's destroyed. I have to rebuy it. If I'm at a level 2 and I roll a 1, I go down to 1. When I'm at a space station or a market, I can spend $1,000 and upgrade it back up to whatever my level is. Okay. Anytime you destroy ships, you gain experience. For every 10 experience, you can up your weapons, your engines, or your crew by 1. Remember, max of 3. So I've got my armor plating, 2 extra fuel, so that leaves me with just $1,000. At the start of the game also, you can go ahead and record your first bounty. Anytime you're at a planet with a market, you can gain a bounty, 1 at a time. Once you've succeeded with the bounty, you've eliminated them, next time you're at a planet with a market, you can just go ahead and move on to the next one. There are 10 bounties. I've already recorded the first one, which is Rax Norga, 5,000. He's in the adder with 2 shield, 5 hull. And he's only at 1 location. Some of them, you'll have to go to 2 locations or even 3 locations to find them. He's at 1 location, so when I get there, I can automatically engage. If it's a 2 location, got to go there, then I got to roll again for another location to see where he's at. To find his location, what I did was roll 2 D6s. So I'll zoom in here on the map a little bit. So I roll a 1 and I roll a 3. So I would go to 1, 3. He would be at green 3, which would be right here. I already pre-rolled it. He's actually at a green 04, so I put B for bounty. You can create a little key if you like. My bounty will be B. I've already pre-made the map To make your galaxy, the map, you start the game by rolling a d20 and placing 3 planets around the blue outer ring. So I've got my very first planet was on B04, blue 04, and that's where your ship is. For me, I just draw a planet with a ring to represent a market. So I did my 3 planets, one here, one at 08, one at 18. 2 of them have markets. Markets are where you can buy fuel, weapons, upgrades, hull repair, shields, escape pod, so on and so forth, even new ships. Space stations, which will come into play a little bit later, you can also get fuel and hull repair there, and you can play the lottery. All right, so I've created all of my planets. I'm here, my bounty's here. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for a mission. While you are a planet with a market, you can get up to 3 missions, 1 at a time per planet. So on that planet with a market, I can get 1 mission. I already chose one just to show some things. I chose mission 2-2. Normally you would roll a D4 and a D8. So D4 would be for 1, 2, 3, or 4 type of missions: delivery, sabotage, rescue, or small bounty. For the sake of this video, I rolled 2-2. So mission 2 is sabotage, blow up the comms on a planet. I roll a D6 for the planet, be on planet 5. So location is planet 5. So I'm gonna put L5 for location, LOC5 for location. It's P4, progress 4. All of the circles for progress wheels start with just 2. Since this one has 4, I just drew a line. When I get to the mission to solve it, I'll have to roll to figure out the mission action and to mark progress on it. Based on what I roll, will determine if I complete the mission or encounter a mishap. So this is a P4, and my reward for this one is $6,000 and 1 loot off the loot table. All right, so I've got my mission set up. I've got my bounty ready. I've got my fuel, my weapon. I am ready to start to travel. To travel, I need to roll 2 D10s and a D6. My engines are +2, so I get to add 2 to my D6. So that would be a 3 and a 1 and a 4. So 3 is higher than the 1, so it's in the middle. I get 1 movement. So I'm gonna start moving towards my bounty. So I'm gonna move here. Oh, I did use a fuel, so I'm gonna erase a fuel. If I didn't have any extra fuel in my cargo bay, I would just shade in a fuel here until it's depleted. And now I'm moving into an empty, unexplored hex. So I have to roll on the table here a D8. And it's a 6. 6, create a space station. It sells fuel and repairs, and I can also play the lottery there. So that works out really well. So I'm just gonna draw a silly little space station. Okay, here's my solar panels, and I'm at a space station. I'm at the space station. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the lottery. So at the space station, the way the lottery works is like this. I've only got $1,000, so I can only purchase 1 number. So I can choose any one of these numbers, and then I roll a D10. If I land on the number, since I only purchased 1 number, if I land on it, I get 25,000. That's a pretty big payout. If I had the extra money, I can purchase 2 numbers for 2,000. Choose the any 2 I want, roll, and if I land on one of the 2 I chose, I'd get 20,000. I can purchase 3 numbers for 3,000. Shade them in, the ones I want. If I land on it, I get 15,000. So I can buy up to 5, and if I land on one of the 5, which is 50-50 chance, I could turn my 5,000 into 10,000. So 50% chance of doubling your money for 5,000. Or you can risk it and just choose one number. I got 1,000, why not? I'm gonna choose 3. So that's my number. I'm gonna roll a D10, and I landed on a 4. Close, but no cigars. I lost my 1,000 in the lottery. All right, so I'll erase my 1,000, and I was able to show you guys the lottery. That's good. All right, I could have used that $1,000 to buy fuel. Yeah, oh well. All right, so I'm going to use another fuel and try to transport myself down one more. So I'm gonna roll that. I add a 2 to it, so that's a 4 and a 6. If it's a tie, you win. So this is not a strong roll. It is a medium roll. Here's my travel actions, or weak roll, I should say. Strong roll, I can move up to 3. A weak roll, only 1. And since I was only higher than 1 dice instead of both of them, I can only move 1. If I failed, I'd have to roll on this mishap table. We'll get to that later. All right, so I do get to move 1. So I'm gonna move down here where the bounty is. Yes, I know my bounty's there, but it's still an unexplored hex. So I have to roll on the travel table before I can engage. So I'm gonna roll another D10. No, D8, sorry. And it's a 3. I have to fight 2 adder ships. So I'm gonna write adder times 2. And that's what's in that hex. I don't have to explore this hex anymore. But before I can engage my bounty, I do have to fight the 2 adder ships. Adder is 2 shields, 5 hull, and they have 1 weapon, a D4. All right, so we're gonna engage in battle. So here's the current enemy. I've got times 2. I'll just write that off to the side, and they do have a D4 for their weapon. I always engage first. I have a +1 for weapons. So I will roll. I get a 4, and a 9. So I get to attack. If my D6 with stats were higher than both of them, I could use all of my weapons. I could have up to 4 weapons. So if I had a D4, a heavy laser, a D8, I could roll a D8 and a D4 and combine it to attack my enemy, 1 ship at a time. If I had rockets here, the most I can hold in 1 bay for a rocket is 3, and I just mark them off, and then I can buy new rockets when I am at a space station or no, not a space station, but at a market. So here I get 1 attack, and unfortunately, if I did roll 2, if I rolled where I can beat both of them, but only had 1 weapon, I can only roll it once. Can't roll the same weapon twice, you have to have more weapons. So let's see here, I attack, a 1. So I take out 1 of his shields. For speeding up the video, I'm gonna say I blew up the first one pretty easily. So I was able to attack him. I gain 1 experience point, and I get to roll on the loot table. For every time you destroy a ship, you get to roll on the loot table. So there's my loot table. You roll a D20. It's the largest D20 I have. It's a 2. I get 2 fuel, so that works out pretty good. I can restock my fuel up here. All right, the second one. Let's say I rolled poorly. I roll something where this is like a 2, and I rolled a 6 and a 7. So he's gonna attack me, and he'll roll a D. All right, we'll say he attacks me with 3. We'll say 3. So my shields are down, and I have 1 more that would go towards my hull. But since I have armor plating, I get to roll a D4. And I roll a 2. I had 1 more hit coming towards me. Since I rolled a 2, it deflects that, so I don't take any damage to my hull. So anything that goes past your shields, if you have armor, you can roll for it, your D4, D6, or D8, and it'll absorb that damage as much as it can. But if you had 4 damage coming towards you and you rolled a 3, then you're gonna receive 1 damage. All right, so let's just pretend I took out the second adder ship, and let's say I had 1 damage to my hull. Okay. I'll still get, since I destroyed it, I get 1 experience point. I do get to roll on the loot table. What I get this time? A 4. I get a crew, a pilot. So I'm gonna put a pilot here, and the pilot gives me 2 engine. All right. Well, the max I can do engine is 3, but that will up it to 3. So that's quite nice. All right. So destroyed that, got 2 of that. My shields automatically recharge after each encounter, which is good because I'm gonna need that for the bounty. So I cross a line through it, knowing I engaged the 2 adder ships. Next time I enter this hex, I don't have to roll on the travel table because there was something there and I took care of it. So now it's the bounty. So the bounty, I roll to attack just like I normally would. I have a 1+1 for a weapon. Their weapon, well, the way it works for the bounty is if they're able to attack me, I would roll a D10, and whatever I rolled is what would happen to me. So let's just go ahead and engage in a real battle here and just see what happens. You always get to attack first. I get a +1, so that's higher than that, less than that. So 4, 1, 4, 7. I get to roll my D4, and it's a 3. He's got the same ship I do, so his shields are out, and 1 of his hull. All right, so I would repeat that. And I got a 5, a 3, and a 4. So a strong roll, a strong hit. If I had more than 1 weapon, I could use all of them. I'll say I roll, a 4. He would be defeated. But let's just say I rolled a 2. Let's say I rolled a 2 instead. And then I rolled again, and I had a weak roll where he attacked me. I then would pull out the top 10, look at what he's got, roll a D10, 5. He would roll a D4 plus 2 damage. If it were an 8, 9, or 10, he would roll 2 D4, I would get that damage, and his shields would go up by 2. Well, he rolled a 5, D4 plus 2. Ooh, I still have my shields, that helps. So let's see here. A D4, so 2 plus 2, I take 4 damage. So 1, 2, oops, I can check my armor. So I got 2 more damage coming to me. I roll a 4, it deflects the 2. I'm safe. So 1 damage to the hull. So not too bad. Okay. All right, let's say I roll, I defeat him. So he is destroyed. So I would mark another experience point. Once you get 10, you can upgrade one of those. I get 5,000 for my reward. Okay, and I can erase that. I didn't get any loot because that wasn't part of the reward. All right, my shields do get to be recharged, restored. Still have 1 hull damage though. All right, and then I will erase my bounty. Okay. Now, I did forget to mark my mission. My mission was 2-2 at location 5. Location 5. Where was location 5? I think it was right here. So this will be mission 2-2, just 1 away. So mission 2-2, it's location 5, green 5, which is right there. So I probably rolled a 3 and a 5. If that's not the case, it'll be all right for demonstration. So I'm gonna erase a fuel. And I'm gonna roll to see if I can get here and conquer this mission. Okay, I get to add 3 to that, so it's 5. I can move up to 3 spaces. So I'm gonna move here, but since I want to engage there, that's where I'll stop. It still is empty besides the mission, so I do have to roll on the travel table. D8. It's a 1. Create an asteroid belt. This works out perfectly. So I'm gonna draw like my little asteroid belt here. So I got asteroids. And your very first asteroid belt is considered the belt. There are some missions where it refers to the belt. This is where you would go, the belt. So I'm actually gonna write the belt in that space so I know. So nothing happens in the belt until you get a mission to go there. So I've got mission 2-2 from previously. Mission 2-2, I need a progress of 4 in order to get loot and $6,000. So progress works like so. So mission action, at the location, I need 4. My crew is 0. So it's straight up whatever I roll. So I roll a 4 against a 9 and an 8. Not good. So I have to roll on the mishap table. I roll a 10. A thief steals all my rockets. I don't have any rockets. Ain't nothing getting stolen. Okay, I roll again. I'm gonna pretend I rolled a 5, and this would be a 2 and a 2. I get to mark 2 on the progress reel. So 2, 1, 2. Rinse and repeat. Let's say I rolled 5 again, and that was a 1 and a 3. 2 more. Mission complete. I gained 6,000, so I'm now up to 11,000. And I get to roll on the loot table. Okay. Loot table with the D20, 5, 7,000. So making some money. It's quite nice. So I'm at 18,000. Okay. And that mission would be taken care of. So I can erase that. I can get a new mission. I can hold up to 3. If I have to fly around the galaxy, I can hold up to 3. If I want to get rid of one, it costs me $1,000. If I can't take one, because say I don't have enough cargo room, then I just ignore it. All right, so that mission has been complete. And I like to just mark it in the book too, to know what missions I've completed. And that was 2-2, so I would just shade in the number. Okay. While I'm attacking, if I feel I have very low hull, I could also evade. So that's not a big deal there. I can evade. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing. I don't think so. You fly around, you go to the different planets to complete your missions. Oh, that planet wasn't there. It was a planet 5. Ah, planet 5 was on green 11. Yeah, I should have went here for my mission. That's my bad there. Mission 2-2 was at planet 5. All your missions are at planets. That's my bad. So I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I corrected that for you. Any questions, please ask, because I do want to create like a frequently asked question thing and see if that'll help. All right. Enjoy the game and leave some comments. Thank you.